Hey guys, so today I thought I'd do a special video. This is actually my 350th video, and for my 300th video, I had a special request. And for those of you that have been watching me for a while know that I have a World War II, a really close friend, a veteran friend. He's 97 years old, and for my 300th video, I requested and asked for you guys to write him a letter, send him, some cards or whatever, just to kind of cheer him up and let him know how much he's appreciated and everything. And I would still like for you guys to do that. I'm gonna put my veteran friend's, his address down in the comment section, and I would greatly appreciate if you guys would write to him. Some of you did. I know he got maybe like 10 or 12 letters. I didn't tell him that, I had requested this, so he had no idea I was involved, and I'm not trying to get any credit anyways, but it made him feel good that he had people from like all over the country writing him random letters that he wasn't even expecting, and it made him feel good. And he's actually going through some difficult times right now, and he's really kind of sad and everything else. I just visited him on Saturday, and he could use some cheering up, so if you will, write him a card, write him a letter, and any of these veterans that you see, I see stuff going around on Facebook about, this veteran for their 100th birthday, they want 100 birthday cards or whatever, and I would participate in that stuff because, these World War II veterans especially, unfortunately, they're passing away. I think it's around like 400 every day, and probably in the next 10 years, they're all going to be gone. 10, 15 years at the most, they're going to be gone. So we need to, make sure we appreciate them and actually tell them that, and while we still have them, you know what I mean? And my veteran friend, he actually told me that World War II veterans are a thing of the past. So that's just the way he feels. That a lot of veterans aren't getting the attention that they deserve. There is some attention because of war movies, coming out like Saving Private Ryan, and and like all these anniversaries of like D-Day and different events and stuff. So there's more attention than there used to be, but a lot of these veterans are still kind of lonely and could need some encouragement. So think about that for sure. And so along the lines of that, I want to share something special with you. I wrote a veteran, I typed it up, a nice letter to a World War II veteran. His name is Russell Pickett. Some of you might already know who he is. I've never met him before. I would love to. He lives up in Tennessee, several hours away from me. But he was actually in the 29th Infantry Division. He was actually in Company A. And for those of you who know your D-Day history, Company A suffered like 97% casualties. Like he was one of, not many guys in that company who actually survived. And he was wounded 3 times. And he's just got an incredible story. You can find some of his stories and stuff on YouTube. His name is Russell Pickett. And I got a hold of, I found out, his address and everything. And I thought I'd write him a letter. And I wanted to read it to you. And I promise you guys, I'm not bragging in any way. I just thought I would share with you the letter that I typed up for him. And believe it or not, about 11 or 12 days later, he responded to me. And that's awesome. And I'll share that with you. I know a lot of people think that stuff's kind of personal, and in a way it is, but I just want to read this and his response so it can kind of encourage you guys to go ahead and get on board to do these type of things, right? So it's kind of lengthy, so bear with me. I'll read it, kind of fast, but anyway, I said, "Dear Mr. Pickett, my name is Jonathan. I'm a 33-year-old military history buff. I started out as a kid watching old war movies, and I grew to love and appreciate the sacrifices of the men and women like yourself who left home and fought for this great country that we live in. I have so much respect and admiration for veterans. I have a special place in my heart for World War II veterans especially. I believe that it is very important to study history. I'm a huge military collector. I try my best to preserve the memory of all the brave soldiers that have gave some or have gave all. I display the items that I collect in a way to give respect and honor that is due. I enjoy meeting veterans and having conversations with them. I always make sure that I thank any veteran that I come in contact with a smile and a nice firm handshake. I want you to know how much I greatly appreciate you for your service. Thank you for your love of this country. I could only imagine what all you went through during the war. I have seen videos of you talking a little about what you experienced. I appreciate that you shared some of that with everyone. I understand that it can be hard to talk about some of the things that you saw and were a part of during the war. War is a terrible thing. It's really sad how nowadays most people don't have much interest in history. Most people don't have a clue as to just how much we have to be thankful for because of men and women like yourself. I know that many veterans like yourself don't want to be acknowledged as being heroes, and that the real heroes are those that gave their lives. If I could, I would shake the hand of every veteran that has ever served in the military of this great nation. I am one of a small percentage that actually understand the phrase that freedom isn't free. I want to thank you for being a very humble man. Thank you for speaking out at times and sharing history with people. I would love to meet you someday. You are part of the greatest generation for sure. I pray that God continues to bless you all the days of your life. And I pray that the peace of God that passes all understanding is upon you and your family. God bless, Jonathan. And, I wanted to share that with you. And like I said, I'm not bragging at all. Honestly, I've been gifted. I believe it's a gift with encouraging people. Some of you are friends with me on Facebook, and I don't push this a lot on my YouTube, but I'm a very religious person. And I like to share things on Facebook just to encourage people or give them hope or, build them up or whatever. Because nice or encouraging words go a long way, and I just I want to help people that are around me, and even people I don't even know. I just want to help people because you never know what somebody's going through in their personal life. People might be going through a really difficult time and they might smile and laugh and cut up, but they're really hurting inside. And I want to help people the best that I can. And so, I ask God to use me for doors of opportunity to be open so that I can encourage people and, give them hope, whether it's quote scriptures or just things that I feel like God impressed upon me to share with people. And so that's the letter that I typed up to Mr. Pickett, and he actually responded, like I said, and I wasn't necessarily expecting him to. Of course, I would have liked for him to, but I expect he probably gets a lot of letters. I mean, I don't know for sure, but a lot of these veterans get hundreds and thousands of letters a month. But so he actually typed me up a response here. It says, "Dear Jonathan, thank you for the letter. I'm sure any World War II veteran who would receive a letter like this would feel as I do. I'm very grateful to get it. To me, it is uplifting. Thanks again." He says, "I do not have any paraphernalia from World War II. He says, "I came out on a stretcher and I woke up in England." Like I said, he had been wounded 3 times. He said, "My pants were empty and my pockets were supposed to have had 2 spread eagle patches that I had taken from a German officer's uniform, but unfortunately they were missing 2. He said, "I sent this picture. It has information on the back that might interest you. Thank you also for the blessing. I'm a Christian. May God bless you too. Yours truly, Russell Pickett." And he actually signed his name in blue ink. I don't know if you can see that, but so I thought that was really special, and obviously the letter I sent him made him feel good, and the letter he was sending responding made me feel good. So we actually we did something good for each other, and he actually sent me this picture of himself, and if you can see it, I know I always try to work on the lighting and everything, but it says Russell Pickett, and he's got his medals and different things right back here in like a shadow box. And then it's got some information on the back, like you see the 29th Infantry Division patch there, and Bronze Star, Purple Heart, Combat Infantryman badge, and it basically just talks about him landing in the first wave, Omaha Beach, Dog Green sector. So just like Saving Private Ryan, we saw Tom Hanks and those guys. This man right here was actually one of those original guys. He was there. And like I said, he was one of very few that survived. A lot of them were killed before they even got out of the landing craft, just like Saving Private Ryan shows. But it was really exciting to get a response from him. He's 94 years old, and he's definitely one of the greatest generation. And like I said, my veteran, my close friend, is 97. So, if you would just reach out to these veterans, you know, even if they're not World War II, if you come in contact with somebody in the store or walk by, just thank them. I thank people in Walmart, at restaurants, when they come into my place of work. You know, that's what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? And I'll tell you another story. And, you know, at the place I work, one day there was a man. He was in one of the electric wheelchairs that we provide at the place I work. And he had a veteran's hat on, and he had just like a blank expression on his face, and almost like he was just down and out. I mean, I don't know what he was going through. He was an older man. He had a Vietnam veteran hat on. And I wasn't trying to be anything special or anything, but we were crossing paths, and I stuck my hand out, and I said, thank you for your service. I appreciate you. God bless you. And he stopped the electric cart, and he just looked at my hand for realistically maybe a few seconds, just looked at my hand. And you wouldn't believe the biggest smile that came across that man's face. And he shook my hand he's real excitedly, shook my hand, and he thanked me for thanking him. And then, you know, we went our way. But you should have just seen the total transformation on that man's face. He went from just being all down out, bummed out. Maybe he felt nobody cared. I don't know. But I thank God that was a door of opportunity. And I thanked him. And you wouldn't believe the smile that he had on his face. You know, it warmed up my heart. It didn't go to my head. It went to my heart, right? And so please, you know, I know this is getting to be a long video, but please just thank these veterans, no matter what war they've served in, male, female, old, young, thank them. And like I said, I'm going to put my close friend's information in the description if you want to write him a letter. And I'll even put Mr. Pickett's in there because, you know, he receives letters and everything. It's not a secret or anything. So if you want to write him a letter also, that would be great. And any other veterans you get, you know, the okay, I guess, to write them or whatever. I wouldn't necessarily go to somebody's house or something like that if you live near them, but, you know, but just let's do what we got to do. You know, we like collecting and everything, but, I mean, these are the guys, and, you know, the men and women, you know, that we collect their stuff that they actually personally used, you know, they sacrificed, you know. We just got to do our part to thank them and preserve the history and memory and everything else. And, we got to keep this thing going. We need to encourage the next generation. I'm 33, so I try to encourage people, even my age or in their 20s or teens, you know, keep encouraging them. And when they get older, they can pass it down. You know, we don't want history to be forgotten. But anyways, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope God blesses you and your family, and I'll be getting back to you soon, so thank you.